Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of the Math 0362 Final Exam Review. Question 13 would like us to identify the domain and range. So, domain means left x to right x. So that's going to be left x and the right x. So notice on the left side you see an arrow. It's going down, but it's slightly tilted to the left. Because of that slight tilt, that means negative infinity. And on the right side, it's going down, but it's slightly tilted to the right. Because of that slight tilt, that's positive infinity. Excuse me. As for range, this means bottom y to top y. So the bottom are the two arrows. It doesn't matter which one you look at. And what's happening is that these are going down forever. So that means negative infinity. But the top is right here. And that has a y value of 4. So the highest, or the top, is at 4. Hence negative infinity to 4. Now the question is it a function? The answer is yes. Why? Because if I take a vertical line, it only passes the graph one time. Question 14. They gave us an equation and they want us to plug in the following values. So it's really 3 small problems in one. Let's start with negative 2. So you get negative 2 squared minus 2 times negative 2 minus 4. So negative 2 squared is 4. Negative 2 times 2 is 4. And minus 4 is just there. So you end up getting, well, 4. Very good. Same thing with 0. So that's going to be 0 squared minus 2 times 0 minus 4. But here's the thing. 0 squared is 0. 2 times 0 is 0. All you have is negative 4. And now for 5. This will go 5 squared minus 2 times 5 minus 4. So 5 squared is 25. 2 times 5 is 10. 4 is 4. So 25 minus 10 is 15. 15 minus 4 is 11. That's it. 15. They'd like us to solve by graphing. So it doesn't matter who goes first. Whoops, it'll let me. Okay, here we go. This will go first. Y equals negative 2x minus 3. Here the slope is negative 2 and the y-intercept is negative 3. I have another name for the y-intercept. I like to call it the starting point. So first let's find out where y is negative 3. Oh, right here. Let's put a red dot there. The slope of negative 2, that's the same as saying negative 2 over 1. The top number tells you whether to go up or down. And because it's negative, it's going down. So 2 down. The bottom always goes right. Never go left. So from the red point, we will go 2 down, 1, 2, and 1 to the right, 1. And that's your line. All right, let's see. Y equals x plus 3. Or should I say 1x plus 3. So that means the slope this time is 1 over 1. And the y-intercept is positive 3. Again, start at the y-intercept. So positive 3 is here, so I'll put a big blue dot there. And 1 over 1. Since 1 is positive, this means that you're going to go 1 up and then 1 to the right. So 1 up, 1 to the right. Let's connect the dots. Okay, when you do this, notice right here, which I have in green, it's where the red and the blue intersect. That point is the answer. So it looks like we have -2 and +1. And the answer is -2 and +1. 16 wants us to solve by substitution. To solve by substitution, we got to get x alone or y alone. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one you get alone, just somebody. But the easiest one to pick is one where there's nothing in front of x. So let's start with the top one. X minus 2y equals 7. If you add 2y, this means x equals to 2y plus 7. Well, great news. This x that we got in red and this x over here, it's the same x. So we can replace the second equation with what we just got. Here's what I mean. 2 is 2, but instead of x, I will write parentheses 2y plus 7, then plus 3y equals -21. I'll send 2 through, so that will be 4y plus 14 plus 3y, still equal to -21. 4 and 3 can add, so that's going to be 7y. And now we can start getting things alone. So this means -14. So 7y will equal to -35. And finally, divide 7. So y would equal to -35. Divide 7, which is -5. So good news, you got the first answer, -5. But I want to find out what x is. Well, you remember this equation right here? We know what y is, so x will equal to 2 times -5 plus 7. So -10 plus 7 means x is equal to -3. And those are your answers. X equals -3 and y equals -5. 17, a word problem. The number of hours it takes to paint a house is inversely proportional to the number of people painting. What this means is h for hours is equal to some number k divided by w. W is for workers. Let's read on. It takes 5 workers 10.8 hours. So let's plug in what we know. So 10.8 equals k divided by 5. If you multiply it by 5 on both sides, what you end up with is k equals to 54. So if you go back to the equation, it's really h equals to 54 over w. And now that you have this, you can answer anything you want. So let's see what numbers that they give us. How long would it take 7 workers? So with that, we will do 54 divided by 7. And if you put it in the calculator, the answer is going to be 7.7. And that's what we're looking for. 18. Excuse me. 18 would like us to solve the absolute value problem. Before we can do that, though, the absolute part has to be alone. So to make it alone, let's begin by adding 5. So b plus 11 equals to 4. When you get this far, what I'd like to do is split it into 2 equations. The first equation is something I call as is, which is just b plus 11 equals 4, as if the absolute values were never there. Well, from here, subtract 11, so b equals negative 7. That's your first answer. All right, the next side is something I call, whoa, let me get rid of that. It's something I call opposite. And let me explain what I mean by that. First, let me erase this. Okay, here's what I mean by opposite. Keep b plus 11. b plus 11 stays the same. But instead of positive 4, it equals to negative 4. Solve that instead. So subtract 11. So b equals negative 15. And those are your answers. The good news is the method works the same whether you have equals, less than, or greater than, and that's what I'm about to show. Again, absolutes are not alone, so first subtract 1. So 3h plus 6 is less than or equal to 9. Now we can break it into two problems. First is as is. So that becomes 3h plus 6 is less than or equal to 9. So minus 6, so 3h is less than 3. And then divide by 3, so h is less than or equal 1. There's one answer. All right, next is opposite. So in this case, still keep the 3h plus 6. 9 is still going to change to negative 9, but if you have an arrow like this, that's going to change direction. It's going to point to the right now, so don't forget that. Now we can solve. So minus 6, so 3h is greater than negative 15. And finally, divide by 3. So h is greater than negative 5. So we got two answers. So we're going to put them on the number line. I'll mark off 2 points. It doesn't matter where, it doesn't matter how close or how far apart. The only requirement is the smaller number gets to go first. So I have to write negative 5 first. And then I'll write 1 second. All right, let's take a look at our answers. The first answer was h is less than 1. Honestly, this less than sign looks like an arrow pointing to the left. So what I like to do is on the number line, start at 1, which is right here, and color everything to the left of 1. I'm going to do that in blue. So I got that. Very good. All right, next I see that h is greater than or equal to negative 5. The greater than sign looks like an arrow pointing to the right. So starting with negative 5, I like to color the right side. I'll do that in red. Now, when you draw this, do you notice any part where the blue and the red seem to overlap? Well, yes you do. It's between negative 5 and 1. So that means the answer is negative 5, comma 1. Just like that. All right, number 20. Graph the inequality. So first, let's get y alone. So what I like to do is subtract 5x. So you get negative 2y is greater than negative 5x plus 10. Then I like to divide everything, and I mean everything, by negative 2. So what you end up getting is y is less than, because the arrow changes direction if you divide by a negative, positive 5 over 2x minus 5. So, judging by this, I see that the slope is 5 over 2, and the y-intercept is negative 5. So for the first step, let's put a point at y equals negative 5, which is down here. 5 over 2 means 5 up and 2 to the right. So 5 up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 right. 1, 2. All right. I'm going to connect the dots, but here's the thing. First, notice this sign. Since there's no equals, that means it's going to be what I call dotted. So connect the dots, but do it like this, dotted line. And because it says less than, that means what we're going to do is we're going to shade down. So everything underneath the red dotted line, I will shade underneath. I'll do that in pink. And this picture is the correct answer. So, that concludes part 2 of our review. Go back to our website and click on the link so you can do part 3. So tune in a few minutes. Thank you.